All right, so we're diving deep today, and it's a topic that I think we're all interested in, and that's unconditional love.
Yes.
And what's interesting is we have a book to help guide us.
Okay.
It's called Big Brother's Art of Unconditional Love. Learn to Love Like an Elephant.
Interesting title.
It is,
Yeah.
and there's also like a little video trailer for the book that we watched.
Cool.
So we're going to look at both of those things, and, I think we're going beyond just your typical
Yeah.
relationship advice here.
Okay.
We're really looking to elephants to give us some wisdom
I love it.
on how to build stronger relationships.
Elephants, huh? Who knew?
Right. Who knew that elephants would be like
Yeah.
the relationship gurus?
The experts.
Yeah. And I think one of the things we'll kind of uncover is, they're masters of forgiveness,
Yeah.
and the way their social structures work have some valuable lessons, I think, for us.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah. So the book kind of starts off by laying the groundwork and talking about the different types of love.
Right?
And it draws on these ancient Greek concepts.
Mm-hmm.
It talks about eros and philia and storge,
Okay.
but it really focuses in on agape.
Yeah, and agape, that's a special one, right?
It is.
It's that selfless love
yeah,
that expects nothing in return.
it's pure.
Just pure giving.
Yeah.
Genuine care and compassion no matter what.
Have you experienced that?
I mean, I think we all have glimpses of it.
Yeah.
It's like those moments where you're just there for someone and
Right.
you don't want anything back. You're
Yeah.
just purely giving.
Right.
It's a beautiful thing.
And it's powerful.
Yes, definitely.
So this is where things get interesting.
Okay.
The elephants come in.
Okay.
The book uses them as a living, breathing example of agape
Interesting.
in action.
I like it.
So what is it about elephants
Yeah.
that makes them such great models for this kind of love?
Well, their whole social structure is built around this idea
Okay.
of deep, interconnected love.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, elephants, they live in these tight-knit herds
Yeah.
led by a wise matriarch, right?
Right.
And the family bonds are just incredibly strong.
I've heard about that.
The calves,
Yeah.
they're not just raised by their moms.
Right.
It's like the whole herd pitches in.
Wow.
They all share in the responsibility of nurturing and protecting the young.
It's like a built-in support system.
It is.
Yeah.
Powered by love.
Not obligation?
Exactly. Not out of duty, but pure love.
Right.
And you know what else is amazing?
What's that?
Their capacity for forgiveness.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Even after these huge conflicts,
Yeah,
like
right.
you see the males, they'll have these big fights over dominance.
Oh, I'm sure.
But then they have this remarkable way of restoring harmony.
So they don't just sweep it under the rug.
No,
They actually
it's active. There are rituals.
Oh, wow. So the book talks about
Yeah.
specific rituals.
It talks about how after a fight, you'll see them intertwining their trunks. Like a physical apology,
Oh.
like, hey, we had our differences, but we're still family.
That's so powerful.
It is.
So it's not about suppressing conflict. It's
Right.
about working through it,
Exactly.
but in a way that
Yeah.
preserves the relationship.
Preserves the bond.
Wow.
It makes you think, right?
Yeah.
How often do we
Let things fester.
let those grudges fester,
Yeah.
damage relationships because we just can't forgive?
It's hard.
It is.
That's really hard.
But the elephants, they show us it's possible.
So we have this amazing model for unconditional love,
Yeah.
but does that mean we all need to start roaming around in herds?
Well, not exactly.
Okay, good.
I don't think that would work for us.
No.
But the book takes these observations of elephants
Yeah.
and extracts these valuable lessons for building stronger human relationships.
So how do we take elephant love
Yeah.
and translate it into,
Wow.
steps we can take?
Well, the book dives into a few key areas.
Okay.
It starts with the foundation, nurturing your inner self.
Okay.
It emphasizes self-love, mindfulness, building resilience.
Yeah.
All of that's essential for loving others authentically.
You can't pour from an empty cup, right?
Exactly. It's a cliche, but so true.
Yeah.
It's easy to forget in our busy lives.
This is true.
And then the book moves into connecting with others,
Right.
highlighting active listening, empathy, trust, honesty, respect.
Yeah.
All those core elements that make relationships thrive.
We all know these are important,
We do.
but it's so easy to...
Let them slip. Yeah.
That's where the elephant model comes in.
Right?
It reminds us of their unwavering support for each other.
Yeah.
Their deep empathy
Mhm.
and that ability to forgive and move forward.
And speaking of overcoming challenges,
Yeah.
the book acknowledges that conflict is inevitable
Oh,
in
man.
any relationship.
In any relationship, for sure.
But we can learn from the elephant approach.
So how?
It's not seeing conflict as a threat,
Mm-hmm.
but as an opportunity for growth.
Okay.
The book encourages us to adopt that same spirit of forgiveness,
Right.
understanding that holding on to anger
Yeah.
and resentment,
It hurts us.
it hurts us more than anyone else.
Yeah.
It's a powerful lesson,
So forgiveness is a big part of this.
a big part.
What else is in the Elephant Love Toolkit?
Well, there's a surprising emphasis on kindness and compassion.
Oh.
And it's not just about our personal relationships. It extends to the wider world.
Oh, wow.
Random acts of kindness,
Okay.
volunteering, practicing gratitude.
Also do.
All of that plays a role in spreading unconditional love beyond our inner circle.
It's like that ripple effect.
It is.
Yeah, like one act of kindness leads to another.
Exactly.
It's like that story in the book about the elephant herd helping that young calf stuck in the mud.
Oh, I remember that story.
They worked together so hard
They never gave up.
to free him.
Their combined efforts saved the day.
It's a beautiful example of compassion and collective action,
It is.
overcoming obstacles.
It's inspiring, isn't it?
It is inspiring, but it also can feel a little overwhelming.
I understand.
Like, how do we even begin to cultivate this elephant love
Right.
in our own lives?
Well, the book does offer some practical advice.
Okay.
One of the simplest but most powerful things is engaging in those random acts of kindness.
Like just little things
Little things.
to brighten someone's day.
Exactly. Like holding a door open for someone.
Yeah.
Offering a genuine compliment.
Yeah.
Letting someone go ahead of you in line.
It doesn't take much.
Doesn't take much at all.
But those little moments of connection.
They make a difference.
Yeah.
And the book also emphasizes volunteering.
Okay.
Giving back to your community
Okay.
as a way to express that unconditional love on a larger scale.
So finding something you're passionate about.
Yes.
And then
yeah.
dedicating time or resources.
It not only makes a difference in the world,
Yeah.
but it brings a sense of fulfillment to you as well.
It's about understanding
Yeah.
our interconnectedness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our actions, no matter how small,
Mm-hmm.
they can contribute to the well-being of others.
It all ties back to that.
It does.
Unconditional love.
Yeah, it's not just about our personal relationships. It's
No.
about extending that love and compassion outwards.
So we're kind of building a more loving and compassionate world.
We are.
Okay, so we've covered,
Yep.
elephant families,
Mm-hmm.
random acts of kindness,
It's all important.
all that good stuff.
Yes.
But there's one piece of the puzzle
Okay.
we haven't talked about yet.
What's that?
How do we navigate love in a digital age?
Ah, yes. That's the big one.
Yeah.
So much of our interaction happens online.
Yeah. How do we stay true to those principles of unconditional love
It's a challenge.
when so much of it is
Yeah.
online?
Well, that's where we'll pick up next time.
Okay.
In part 2 of our deep dive.
Looking forward to it.
Me too.
We've been talking about how elephants can teach us about this unconditional love,
Yes.
and their family bonds are really a great example of that.
Absolutely.
The book highlights how calves are raised by the whole herd,
Right.
not just their mothers.
It's amazing.
It's that shared responsibility that's really fascinating.
It creates this incredible support system where everyone contributes to the well-being of the group.
Mhm.
And you see this especially with the vulnerable young ones.
Yeah,
It's not just babysitting.
right.
It's about making sure that the next generation thrives.
It's a communal effort.
It is.
And the book mentions how elephants also care for their elderly
Yes.
and ailing members.
Absolutely.
Okay.
There's this profound respect and reverence for the older elephants.
Oh, wow.
They're seen as the keepers of wisdom
Right.
and experience.
Yeah.
The herd makes sure that they're protected,
Wow.
cared for.
So it's like a natural elder care system.
You could say that,
Yeah.
but it's driven by love.
Not just duty.
Exactly.
It makes you think about how we could apply that to our own
Yeah.
society.
That intergenerational connection is so important.
Right.
And I think we could learn a lot from that.
Yeah, for sure.
Imagine the wisdom,
Yeah.
the support we could have
Yeah.
if we nurtured stronger bonds across generations.
I think about how much we value youth in our culture
Mm-hmm.
and often overlook the wisdom of our elders.
It's true.
Elephants have a different perspective.
They do.
But let's circle back to this idea of conflict
Okay.
and forgiveness,
Yeah.
because the book gives these amazing examples of how elephants reconcile,
Oh, yeah.
even after some pretty intense disagreements.
They don't hold grudges.
It's fascinating.
It really is.
Yeah.
They understand that unity is crucial
Right?
for the survival of the herd.
One story that stuck with me was about these two bulls.
Oh, yeah.
They had this major fight over dominance.
I remember that.
And then afterwards,
Yeah.
they were observed touching trunks, seemingly making amends.
It's incredible.
It makes you wonder if elephants can let go of anger
Right?
and resentment so readily.
Mm-hmm.
What can we learn from them
It's a good question.
about forgiveness in our own lives?
Yeah. Are we supposed to just forget every wrong?
Right.
That's a good question.
Because that doesn't always seem
No.
practical or healthy.
Forgiveness is complex.
Yeah.
It's a process,
Yeah.
not just a single action.
And it's different for everyone.
It is.
I think the elephants offer a valuable lesson
I do.
in letting go of anger and resentment,
Mm-hmm.
understanding that ultimately those things harm us.
More than anyone else?
Yeah.
They just create this negativity?
It's not about being a doormat,
No, of course not.
but it's recognizing that holding on to that negativity.
It creates barriers in our relationships.
We build walls instead of bridges.
Exactly.
Another important thing that the book explores is this idea of self-love
Yes, self-love.
as a foundation for loving others.
It's so important.
It is.
You can't pour from an empty cup.
Right. You hear that phrase a lot,
We do.
but it's easy to forget.
It is.
Elephants seem to instinctively understand this.
They take time for themselves.
Yeah.
They engage in activities.
Yeah.
Bring them joy.
Like mud baths,
Mud bath.
playing in the water.
Socializing.
Yeah, it's like they prioritize self-care
They do.
in a totally natural,
Yeah.
instinctive way.
They're very self-aware and in tune with their own needs.
Yeah.
Observing them can remind us
Yeah.
that we need to prioritize our own well-being, make
Yeah.
sure we're nurturing ourselves.
So that we can show.
So we can show up as our best selves for others.
Yeah.
It's all connected.
It's a balance.
It is.
Caring for ourselves so we can truly care for others.
Real sick.
And the book delves into mindfulness
Yes.
and meditation.
I know you were skeptical about that one.
I have to admit.
Do elephants really meditate?
Right when I saw that in the table of contents, I chuckled a bit.
I figured you would.
But you're right. It's not like they're sitting there, the lotus pose under a tree.
But they do have these moments of quiet contemplation, of stillness.
Maybe they're not chanting mantras,
Right.
but there is this sense of presence,
Yeah.
awareness.
Absolutely.
So how do we translate those elephant meditations
Good question.
into our own lives?
It's about incorporating practices
Yeah.
like mindfulness and meditation into our routines.
Okay.
You know, by doing so, we become more present,
Right.
more aware of our thoughts, emotions, surroundings.
Instead of just reacting impulsively,
Yeah.
we can pause
Take a breath.
and respond with more,
Empathy.
compassion,
Compassion.
cultivating that inner peace and stillness
Exactly.
so we can approach interactions
Yes.
with more understanding and love.
It's a journey.
It is.
It takes practice.
All of this is so inspiring.
It is beautiful.
But I imagine some listeners might be thinking, okay,
Yeah.
this is all great,
Mm-hmm.
but how do we actually
Right.
put these principles into practice?
In our crazy, busy lives.
Yeah.
I get it.
It can feel overwhelming.
It can.
But the book does offer some very practical advice.
It does.
One of the simplest but most powerful suggestions
Yes.
is to engage in random acts of kindness.
Random acts of kindness.
Those small gestures
Yeah.
that can really brighten someone's day.
Exactly.
Like holding a door open for someone,
Mhm.
offering a genuine compliment,
Yeah.
letting someone go ahead of you in line.
Doesn't require much effort.
But it can make a world of difference.
But it really can.
And these little acts of kindness, they create a ripple effect.
They do.
We experience kindness.
Yeah.
We're more likely to be kind to others.
Exactly.
It's a chain reaction of positivity.
Love it.
The book also emphasizes volunteering,
Yes.
giving back to your community.
Finding a cause that you're passionate about
Yeah.
and dedicating your time or resources.
It makes a difference in the world,
It does.
but it also brings a sense of fulfillment.
To you. It's
Yeah.
a beautiful thing.
It's about understanding our interconnectedness.
Our actions, no matter how small,
Yeah.
they can contribute to the well-being of others.
And it all ties back
It does.
to this concept of unconditional love.
It's not just about our personal relationships.
Right.
It's about extending that love and compassion outwards.
It's about building a more loving
Yes.
and compassionate world,
One step at a time,
brick by brick.
act by act.
Okay, so we've covered
Yeah.
elephant families,
Right.
random acts of kindness,
Yeah.
all that good stuff.
All those important pieces.
But there's still this one big piece
Oh.
that we haven't addressed,
Okay.
and that is
Yeah.
How do we navigate love
The big one.
in a digital age?
In a digital age.
How do we stay true to these principles of
Yeah.
unconditional love when so much of our interaction...
It's the question of our time. How do we maintain those genuine connections
Right.
in a world that's increasingly virtual?
Yeah.
Well, that's where we'll pick up in the next part.
Okay.
Deep dive.
So welcome back to our deep dive into Big Brother's art of unconditional love.
It's been quite a journey.
It has. We've been exploring
Yeah.
what elephants can teach us about building stronger, more fulfilling relationships.
Powerful lessons.
They are. And now it's time to tackle a topic
Okay.
that's especially relevant in our
Yeah.
hyper-connected world.
Right.
Love and technology.
Love and technology.
Let's be real. So much of our communication
Yeah.
interaction happens online.
It does.
And while technology can be an amazing tool
It can.
to connect with people, it also presents some unique challenges
It does.
when it comes to expressing
Yeah.
and experiencing love.
The book definitely acknowledges that.
Yeah.
Pointing out that online interactions, they often lack the richness,
Yeah.
the nuance
Yeah.
of face-to-face communication.
Think about all those nonverbal cues.
Exactly.
Like body language,
Tone of voice.
eye contact,
Eye contact.
all those things that convey so much emotion.
Yeah.
It's so easy to misinterpret things
Right.
when you're relying on just text.
Text messages, emojis.
Emojis.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough.
And even building trust,
Right.
intimacy
Right.
in online relationships can be tricky
It can.
because you're not physically present.
Right.
So is the book suggesting we ditch technology altogether?
No, not at all.
Okay, good.
It's not about rejecting technology.
Okay.
It's about using it
Yeah.
mindfully and intentionally.
So what are some practical tips for navigating love
Good.
in a digital age?
One key suggestion is to prioritize in-person connection
Okay.
whenever possible.
All right.
Make time for those face-to-face interactions with your loved ones.
Even if it's just grabbing a coffee
Yeah.
or taking a walk.
Because nothing can truly replace
Right.
those moments of shared presence.
Without the distractions
Yeah.
of screens.
Those real-life interactions are so crucial
They are.
of building, maintaining strong relationships.
The book also stresses clear
Okay.
and open communication.
Online.
Online, yes.
So don't be afraid to express your feelings,
Yeah.
needs directly,
Yeah.
but be mindful of your tone
Right.
and word choice.
It's easy for things to get misconstrued
Yeah,
in text.
it really is.
So, yeah, choose your words carefully.
And sometimes a phone call or video chat
Oh, for sure.
might be better than a text.
Especially when you're dealing with
Yeah.
sensitive topics.
Another tip is setting boundaries
Yes. Boundaries are crucial.
around technology use.
Create dedicated times for unplugging,
Okay.
being fully present with the people around you.
Maybe like a tech-free dinner.
Tech-free dinner, I love it.
Yeah. Or putting your phone away
Yeah.
when you're talking with a friend.
Those moments of focused attention,
Yeah.
they make such a difference
They really do.
in the quality of our relationships.
And finally, the book talks about digital kindness.
Digital kindness.
It sounds simple, but it's easy to forget
It is.
that there's a real person
Yes.
on the other side of the screen.
It's like the golden rule of the internet.
Okay.
Treat others online
Yeah.
with the same respect,
Yeah.
compassion that you would in person.
Our words online can have a real impact,
They can.
positive or negative.
And this all ties back to that message
Yeah.
of unconditional love.
Cultivating it.
Cultivating it, spreading it.
Even in our online interactions.
Yeah, extending that same empathy,
Right.
kindness, understanding.
So we've talked about how to love like an elephant in our personal relationships
Yeah,
and in the digital world.
the whole spectrum.
But the book ends with this idea
Okay.
of leaving a legacy of love.
A legacy of love.
What exactly does that mean?
It's about the impact we have on others
Okay.
and the world around us.
The values we embody.
Yes.
The actions we take.
The inspiration we leave behind.
It's like asking ourselves,
Yeah.
how do we want to be remembered?
What kind of positive change
Yeah.
do we want to contribute to?
So it's not just about our own personal relationships. It's about making a positive contribution.
To something bigger.
The book suggests that by living a life
Yes.
guided by this unconditional love, by being kind,
Compassionate.
forgiving, supportive,
We can create a ripple effect
yeah,
that extends far beyond
our immediate circle.
our immediate circle.
It's about inspiring others
Inspiring others.
and contributing to a more loving and just world.
And it's not about grand gestures,
No,
heroic acts.
it's about the everyday choices
Yeah.
we make.
Yeah.
how we treat our loved ones,
how we interact with strangers,
how we engage with our community.
those seemingly small acts
They can have a profound impact
over time.
over time. It's about weaving those threads
Yeah.
of love and compassion into the fabric of our lives.
The book leaves us with this powerful call to action. Be intentional about the legacy you're creating.
Make a conscious effort to spread that love
Yeah.
in all that you do.
It's an inspiring message.
It is.
It reminds us that each of us has
Yeah.
the power to make a difference.
Even small acts of love and kindness,
They can ripple outwards.
creating positive change.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Okay.
I hope you found some valuable insights, inspiration from Big Brother's Art of Unconditional Love
From the wisdom of elephants.
to the challenges
Yeah.
and opportunities.
And of love in a digital age.
This book offers such a unique and insightful perspective.
It's a reminder that love is not just a feeling,
Yo,
it's a choice,
it's a practice,
a way of being.
a way of being in the world.
So let's go forth and love like elephants,
I love it.
spreading kindness, compassion wherever we go.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
Until next time, keep exploring,
Keep learning.
keep loving.